here today by No Limit Boxing Promotions and joined by George Rose, who I'll talk with very shortly. Tszyu is here as well, and we also have a couple of fighters from what is an absolutely stacked undercard. And we can announce today as well that the official IBF World Title Eliminator between Sam Goodman and Raees Salim will take place as the co-main event on this card, and we get to see the return as well of Queensland's own former world title challenger Liam Wilson, who has a very tough task against a Mexican fighter in Eduardo Ramirez. So those are fights that will take place on the undercard. The big fight though, of course, is that world title matchup between Tszyu and Carlos Ocampo. We're very grateful to be here on the Gold Coast, and firstly I'd like to welcome to say a few words the Mayor of the Gold Coast, Tom Tate.
Morning everyone. Mate, there's no limit on the Gold Coast today. I'm thrilled that the Gold Coast will play host to another boxing world title fight on 18th of June. And our Gold Coaster Tszyu will be right there fighting Carlos Ocampo. And to all out there, I know it's going to be full of Queenslanders and Australians and Gold Coasters cheering you on, Tim, and you do us proud. But for the Gold Coast, we love it. So George, bring them on. Good on you. Thank you.
Thank you to the Mayor, and thanks for having us here today on the Gold Coast. We'll start with the promoter, George Rose. George, nice to get a great welcome like that, isn't it? And this beautiful weather and the great city that we're in today.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to have Tom Tate here today. He's without a doubt my favourite mayor in Australia, and I think he's well suited for the Gold Coast. Obviously, this event wouldn't be happening without the support of the Queensland government through Tourism and Events Queensland. So, big thank you to Queensland government for your support and Major Events Gold Coast. It's an absolute pleasure to be up here. A beautiful part of the country. I really believe Australia is the best country in the world, and Gold Coast is without a doubt one of our greatest cities. And the fact that we can now bring a No Limit boxing event here to the Gold Coast is something that I've been really excited about for a long time. Gold Coast has always got a buzz about it, but I'm pretty sure that No Limit Boxing is going to be able to bring even a better buzz to this place. And we really want to make it one of the fight capitals of the country. So we're looking forward to that week, and we've got a fantastic lineup to go with it.
Yeah, we certainly do. We've been here for a day already. You can tell there is a buzz around, but it's going to be something special here on the Gold Coast. Talk to us about the main event between Tszyu and Carlos Ocampo, a really tough Mexican fighter.
A very tough fighter, the best fighter coming out of Mexico in the super-welterweight division. And given Mexico's reputation in boxing, look, the fact that he's the best coming out of that country, it's saying something about him, and it also says a little something about Tszyu. He doesn't want easy fights, he doesn't want easy opportunities. He's here to get better with every opportunity that he gets, and if we're going to bring a big fight to the Gold Coast, it's got to be against a tough opponent like Carlos Ocampo.
Tim's dad, Tszyu, fought 5 Mexican opponents, beat them all, including the greatest Mexican of all time. How long has he been in your ear saying he wants to fight against a Mexican?
Look, I know he spoke about it for a long time, and I think the style of fight makes for a really entertaining fight. The Tszyu boys have got, a different killer instinct in them where they want tough battles, they want tough fights, and Tim's no different. This fight, he wants this fight. He wants to test himself, and that's what he's got to do. He's coming up against the undisputed world champion later in the year. So to be prepared for that, you need to take every opportunity to try every style of fighter, and this is really going to push him to his absolute limit. So I've got every faith in Tszyu every time he steps in the ring. So anybody he wants to step in the ring with, I've got no doubt he can beat them. But this is a very tough fight.
You mentioned Jermell Charlo with the undisputed fight that is coming up for Tszyu, but he has to win again. You were very nervous on fight day against Tony Harrison. How are you feeling that he's risking it all and you're risking it all again?
Look, every time he wants to do this, it's a massive risk. Like I don't think, there's no other fighter in the world who would do this. There's other guys who would happily wait on the sidelines for 12 months, 18 months, however long it might take. Some would even take step-aside money to be able to, push it back even further. But Tszyu is not that guy. He's the guy who wants to stay active, and that's what I love about him, and that's what Australians love about Tszyu, and I think the world is also going to get behind Tszyu in the same way, because this is a champion who wants to fight regularly. There's not many champions out there who want to fight as often as Tszyu, but that's what we're going to see from Tim going forward. And you know, after he wins his fight and after he becomes undisputed world champion, we're going to see a very active champion.
Talk to us about the calibre of the event, George, because not only do we have Tim here who will fight against Carlos Ocampo, but we've also announced today a world title eliminator involving Sam Goodman and the return of Liam Wilson as well. This is a truly stacked card.
Look, and it's very exciting for Sam Goodman. You know, he's really put in the hard work to get to this point now. You know, he's taken a lot of tough fights. He's been very active as well. You know, he always brings an exciting show. He always brings a fantastic crowd along with him. And this is through years of hard work that have got him to this point. So I'm really stoked for Sam that we were able to announce that today, that this is a world title eliminator. Without a doubt, probably the most difficult fight on the card. It's a very, very tough fight for Sam Goodman, but he's proved time and time again, whoever he jumps in with, you know, he gives his absolute all. So an opportunity to fight for a world title with a win here is something that would really motivate him and motivates us to want to see him do his best. And I think I'm also excited to see the return of Liam Wilson. After the experience that we had over in Arizona, you know, I think that opportunity really gave him massive experience to grow as a fighter, I think, and to fight one of the best fighters in the world through multiple divisions. To get that opportunity, you know, I think he's going to grow as a fighter even more, and we're going to see a fantastic performance again from Liam Wilson. Local Queensland boy too, so no doubt he'll have plenty of Queenslanders behind him up here too, so really excited for him to be fighting here in Queensland.
Yeah, thank you very much, George. So the tickets do go on sale later today, or of course you can watch on Main Events or in the USA on Showtime. We will start down the end with Liam Wilson. Liam, we just talked about the heroics that you showed against Emmanuel Navarrete, the world champion in Arizona. You're stepping into a very, very tough fight here against the Mexican 27-3-3 Eduardo Ramirez. It is a truly tough fight. Why are you not taking something a bit easier to ease yourself back in after what happened in Arizona?
I think ultimately, you know, like next time there's an opportunity comes around to fight for world title, I want to be best prepared, and I think the only way to do that is to take these hard fights, get back to where we left off, and you know, put a good performance for you guys and prove to the public, the fight fans of Australia, that I'm world title worthy.
What have you taken out of that experience in Arizona against Navarrete?
Most of the public, I believe I'm at that level. I believe my team thinks I'm at that level, and we're back to the drawing board, working on our craft, working on this next opponent we're coming up on June 18th, and yeah, working very hard in the gym in preparation for him.
Just your 14th professional fight, you're taking on a man who's 27-3-3 and has been at the very top level for quite some time. What do you know about your opponent?
Look, I know he's going to come on a fight where we're both in the same position. We're coming off forces. We're going to be coming to put on a great fight for the fans. In some sense, we're here to redeem ourselves, to prove to the public that, you know, we both should be world champions, or our goal is to be world champion. And you know, it's going to be an all-out war, I think. You know, we're here to simply prove ourselves, and you know, the fact that we've come off forces, we're hungry.
And you're here in Queensland, close to home, a big card like this with Tszyu and Sam Goodman a part of it. It must be exciting for you to be on a show like this.
Yeah, I'm excited to be fighting the Gold Coast. Gold Coast, Queensland. Gold Coast is just up the road from Caboolture, so I'm very proud of that. I'm sure I have a lot of local fans here to come and support me. And you know, I just kind of get in the ring on a great card with these guys, and put on a great performance for you guys. I've been trying very hard, and I do expect an all-out war.
That's Liam Wilson. Next we move to Sam Goodman, who will be part of the co-main event. This is an official IBF Super-welterweight world title eliminator. It's Sam Goodman, who's 14-0 with 7 stoppages, of course, out of Australia. And Raisa Lim from the United States, 20-0. They call him the Beast. He has 12 stoppages. It is a truly tough fight. Sam, tell us about Raisa Lim and what you're expecting out of this fight.
No, he's a pretty good fighter. He can do it all. So he can bring the pressure, he can bring the fight, but he can also box a bit. But look, like always, I back what I can do. I believe I'm at this level and I deserve to be here. So look, it's everything I've been working towards, and I'm ready. I've been putting in the work. Non-stop. As soon as that last fight ended, I was straight back in the gym. I've done everything right, and I'm ready for these sort of opportunities and these sort of challenges.
How does it feel being 2 fights away from being a world champion?
It's massive, but I know I got to take it day by day, one step at a time, and I got a tough boy in front of me. So I can't overlook this guy, but look, I know what's lying around the corner. Some massive opportunities, and look, I'm not stopping until I get there. So I know I've got to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one fight at a time.
Talking to you since this fight has been set, you're very confident you want this fight with Elaine. What is it you see in him that makes you so confident you beat him?
I just think I'm better than them. It's pretty simple. I think I can outbox and pick all these guys apart. So it's my confidence just comes from my ability and what I do in the gym.
Now, of course, you're well known for having a huge supporter base. The Mad Bunch, are they coming to the Goldie?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a cracking week. The footy's on later as well. So look, all the boys are coming. We're gonna have the Mad Bunch there. They're gonna be going wild. So like always, we're gonna have massive numbers and a massive support base. So look, it's gonna be awesome. What a night, what a weekend on the Goldie. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you very much. That is Sam Goodman. That is our undercard. Now we will talk to our main event fighter, our world champion, the interim WBO super-welterweight champion of the world, Tszyu. 22-0 as a professional boxer, 16 stoppages so far. He'll take on Carlos Ocampo, 34-2, 22 stoppages. He's a former world title challenger. He is the #1 fighter in the division out of Mexico. And Tim, just want to start by asking you, why have you been so excited to fight a Mexican fighter for so long?
Oh look, the Tszyu legacy, we got 5-0 against the Mexicans. So I think for me, growing up, being a lover of this sport, watching the rivalries, Morales, Barrera, the big Mexican fights like that, I've always wanted to test myself. And when you're in this pro game, especially in my weight division, in that light middleweight status, there's plenty of fights that are Mexican fighters. So I'm quite honoured to be able to fight against a Mexican, and we're looking to bring that tally up even higher and higher.
Yeah, there's a bit of pressure there because your dad, he beat Julio Cesar Chavez. He had his greatest ever performances. He sees it against Miguel Angel Gonzalez, and he beat 3 other Mexicans as well. Do you feel that pressure?
Rafael Morales was his first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, pressure, whatever pressure is, I sort of had it from day one anyway. So pressure's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing new. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to this fight because it's keeping me active. It's bringing me against the style. It's like a brick wall. You can punch that and it's not gonna fall. So it's gonna be a tough task. So hopefully my hands are ready.
You talk about that style of the Mexican Carlos Ocampo. You know what he's going to do. He's going to be in front of you. He wants to go to war. Is there a chance we see Mexican style out of Tszyu?
You know how I am. I don't move back. And every fight I've had, I've never taken one step back. Maybe on occasion, but usually I'm always up with the pressure. But this is we'll see what happens. This is the style we're just going to clash. It's going to be a standoff. And we'll see who takes the first back step.
There was
it ain't me.
There was clearly a lot to prove, or so you saw it in that Tony Harrison fight. We saw you in the ring afterwards, stating your name. What have you got left to prove, do you think, to the boxing world, if anything, in this fight?
I think something devastating. Something devastating. I've been envisioning this moment, this fight, and something devastating, something that Fundora couldn't do. Errol Spence did it in devastating fashion when he was nice and early in his career with Ocampo. I want to do something highlight real stars.
Do you have any message for Jermell Charlo? Because clearly that's the man you want to be fighting now, but that's not the case.
Look, I was watching the Garcia Tank fight the other day, and the guy was off his head. He was drunk, And there's a difference between me and him. See me, I'm active. I'm here. staying ready, getting ready for the next opportunity. Every opportunity I get, I'm going to take. Him on the other hand, he's on honeymoon. He's off to Vegas. He's getting smashed. You know, there's a difference. And when we do meet, it's going to be trouble, not for me, but for him.
Is he going to fight you?
That's the question you got to ask him, man.
Talk about the Gold Coast for a moment, because I know you love this part of the world. You've spent a lot of time here in training camps. You were based here for a little while, and you seem to have a great deal of enjoyment about the place.
Yeah, it's got this vibe here. Gold Coast, we spent 2 months here before Jeff Horn. Before then, it was the Queenslanders, New South Wales rivalry. And this time I'm coming in, it's like I feel like the whole nation's behind it. You know, and it's not just Queensland, it's every state. And it's a good place here on the Gold Coast to have this type of fight. And we promised with No Limit to bring a big fight here, and we finally got it, you know, so I'm grateful for this opportunity.
It was a special atmosphere in Sydney when you fought against Tony Harrison. I know you were busy, but it was something pretty special for those who were present. What should they expect if they do get along here to the Gold Coast for this fight?
Again, special, you know. I'm always zoned in, zoned out, but when I re-watched it, it was a buzz. It was a buzz, and it's crazy how I still think I'm not small-minded, but I'm always in the same surface as everyone else. And to go in front of these big crowds, and it just baffles me at times, you know. To be able to see how many people we can bring in, and the numbers that people buy, and how much interest it just shows where boxing is in this country. And hopefully we can get a big turnout here in the Gold Coast.
I'm sure we will, and one man that will be here is Carlos Ocampo. Finally, do you have a message for your opponent before he heads here to Australia for this fight?
Well, I need to learn a bit of Mexican first before I can send any messages out, but the clear message will be sent out on fight night. Devastating fashion.
Thank you very much, Tszyu. So Tszyu against Carlos Ocampo is the fight. It's for the Interim WBO Super-welterweight Championship of the World, brought to you by No Limit Boxing Promotions. June 18 here on the Gold Coast. Thanks so much for joining us here at today's press conference. I'll now throw back to Megan Barnett.